Tim Wood, Bill Bryant, the premiere of Ranger Nation Radio 2019 fall. How are you, Bill?
Doing great, Tim. I'm so pumped to be back.
Right? There was a while there where I didn't think it was happening, and not for lack of sponsorship from AFC Urgent Care. That just health issues, just a lot of things going on in both of our lives, and but we're here for the kids, right? I mean, it's all about the athletes, all about the student athletes, all about promoting. Just the great work that they're doing over at Methuen High School.
And the show has definitely been missed. Many people are asking what happened, what's going on, and you know, I said, hey, we're down a little bit, but we're never out, and here we are. We're back. We're back in the mix, and we're ready to go.
All about how you come back from the setbacks in life, right? It's not defined by the victories.
No, absolutely. And what better to do on Hump Day, Tim, than have Ranger Nation Radio just give the fans an update of how all the Methuen Ranger athletes, past, present, and future.
And we're thrilled because we've got a different studio set up this year, and first of all, I just want to say a big thank you to Lou Blassie and Pat Costa and the folks over at Costa Eagle Media. We could not have done the first batch of episodes the first year without their help. We've discovered some new technology, kind of out of necessity, because I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to drive fighting a concussion, and so we're using this new production software that's really allowing us to do a lot more things, bringing in some video, bringing in Skype interviews very easily, some more graphics, a lot of different things that we're going to be able to do this year, and we're so excited to bring it to you, and just nothing but up from here, right, Bill?
No, absolutely, Tim. I think the interactive videos and the videos from after the Ranger games, whether it's field hockey, soccer, football, all the other volleyball, that to me, cross country, that to me is what is most exciting, that we're going to be able to embed this, and I think people are going to be even more excited about Ranger Nation Radio than ever. Absolutely,
and it's really as simple. If you're watching this and you want to help, I mean, honestly, if you've got family involved and you want to interact with the show, it's as simple with the technology nowadays. It's as simple as using an iPhone for some post-game interviews. We've talked to all the coaches, trying to get, whether it's assistant coaches or designating a team parent or just a fan to do that 2 to 4 minute interview after the game. And I mean, the folks at Methuen High School, athletic director Matt Kern, so far so great. I mean, the work just what he's been doing for us for MVC Gridiron Weekly has just been amazing.
No, without question, Tim, and I think it goes back to what you and I have talked about, and I think the same thing with sponsors. People don't realize every little thing counts. The boosters this past summer put on a golf tournament. We joined with the Dennis Bistany, Jim and Joyce Thibodeau, who had been running it for 9 years. After the 9th year, we partnered up with them. We asked them if the boosters could take over. They were excited to keep that Bistany golf tournament going. And this past year, through some good-sized sponsorships, right down to a basket of donation to golfers signing up, the Methuen High School athletic department was handed a check of $20,000 for various items for hockey and basketball and football helmets to Unified Sports needing new uniforms. And there is nothing better than to have a community come together and really just take care of kids that are going to school, doing part-time jobs, taking care of their little brothers and sisters and parents, and then going out and battling on the turf, on the cross-country track, or on the cross country field, and just these kids really need to have good quality uniforms and equipment.
Absolutely, and huge congratulations to all the work that was put in with the golf tournament, and that was a big risk, a huge thing for the community to keep that going, but we don't like to talk about it because it's behind the scenes, but it's a huge risk to take that tournament over, and the work that you and your whole crew did to pull that off was just amazing, and I can't even imagine what it was like to be able to present a check to the athletic department after that all was pulled off.
No, it was pretty cool to sit in that meeting and Matt sit down and say, "Hey, these are all of our needs," and we're like, "Oh, okay, yep, we'll do all of it." And he's, obviously he had an idea. Matt was behind the scenes a big help, and he knew it was coming. Transparency is key for me, making sure we have an Excel spreadsheet of what was coming in. But like I said, we ran a lotto board. Ray Rocks was our week before host, and then ended up being our after golf tournament host, and did an awesome job. Ray Rocks in Methuen on Pelham Street was a huge help to me in setting up the food and the post golf tournament fundraiser / party. And it just, Tim, I think a lot of people weren't really confident that it was going to be as big as it was, including myself, who was very much panicked for multiple weeks. But, at the end of the day, the superintendent, Brandy Kwan, was up on the deck and did a video of kind of our shotgun start. It was an awesome idea. I'm so glad she did it. I think next year, people that weren't involved were really disappointed that they weren't part of it, that they didn't donate, that they didn't golf, that they just kind of stayed away. We're already getting people that are asking me about foursomes for next year, where last year I was actually kind of bugging people and saying you got to pay up and get signed up.
Calling in favors.
Absolutely. I think next year people are going to be real sad. If you're a little bit late, you're going to be unfortunately left out because there's only 144, there's only 36 foursomes.
Yep.
And we ended up having 3 more golfers than we were supposed to because Merrimack took care of us and said, listen, we're not going to turn anybody away. And it ended up being a beautiful sunny day, and it was perfect. And then obviously you raise a little over $20,000. It's pretty exciting.
The caterers over. We got to give a shout out to them over at Methuen, over at Merrimack Valley Golf Club, and they're amazing, and the amazing work that the whole crew over there does with the club and all the events they put on. Just top notch.
Yeah, Mike Farrelly is the tournament man and runs the golf aspect of it. Mike was awesome, and right down to every little detail Mike took care of, and even Tom Ryan, the football coach, had a bunch of the players come, and they were kind of like the caddies that carried the bags down from the parking lot, hooked them right on the golf carts. It was just a class act from beginning to end. It was great.
Fantastic. We've got more events coming up. We'll mention a couple fundraisers coming up in the near future here. But we also in terms of this show, you hate going back to the well for folks, for the folks that are always donating and always contributing to Methuen High Athletics. Listen, you're watching the show. You've thought about getting involved before. I'll just put it bluntly. We need you now more than ever in terms of the show to just keep it going and keep the interest level high. We're getting more views than ever. We're in more places than ever. It's just a very affordable, phenomenal way to get the message of your business out to the community. So and at the same time to support youth athletics and support our student athletes. It's a win-win-win. And so I've put it on Facebook. I'll say it here. If you're a small business, you're looking for an affordable way to do some marketing, give back to the community, talk to me, tim@loopweekly.com. And we will make it happen. We will get you on the show at any level to to get you involved, and you will not regret it. We will, Bill and I and everyone involved with the show, we will promote the living daylights out of you. That much we can tell you.
And Tim, I think the other point, and you're kind of hitting on a little bit, is that the student athletes and the families, they love and support the businesses that support them. You know, John and Tanya over at Bada Bing, Bada Boom, they're constantly being asked for donations, and I don't know if I've ever heard anyone that's ever said no, but if you go by there any day, any time, people are ordering out, people are stopping in, because how do you not support a place that is constantly giving to baseball, hockey, you know, the Methuen High Scholarship Night? They just continue to say yes, and the only way they can do that is if the residents that they're supporting show up and order food and go to Bada Boom and go to the sports bar and lounge and hang out and bring other friends. And you constantly see after sport meetings, you see a team wins, they go there, they bring the whole team, they sit in the back, they order pizza, they have a great time, because that's the type of environment it is. It is a sports bar, but the place knows and the customers know when the kids show up and the family shows up, that's their place at that moment. And the whole atmosphere changes, and it becomes very kid-friendly, and they just run a fantastic place. But they give a ton to Methuen High and the
Absolutely.
athletes, as well as the grammar schools.
It's not rocket science. You know, a small business, part of the way that you succeed is getting involved and interacting with your community. And listen, we're biased, but it's proven. Yeah, obviously, businesses want to see a return on their investment. Outside of just the being involved in the community, you will not see a more loyal group of patrons than the families of student athletes in terms of the businesses that give to the program and you know, the families that support those businesses. It's
a little bit down the road, Tim, I'm going to go through the Thursday night football meal that feeds about 90 players and actually about 100 players and coaches every Thursday night. I have a whole list of all the businesses that have signed up, and you'll never guess, Tim, who's on that list again. AAFC or
shocking. Yep, shocking.
Yep.
So let's just kind of give you a rundown of what we've got coming up. We'll talk football next segment. Just a huge win for the Rangers, a 26-14 win over the Tewksbury Redmen, a game early in the schedule that has been a roadblock the last couple years in terms of the Rangers' efforts for MVC title and playoff positioning. This year, they flipped the script. They get the win, just a huge win. We will talk to Connor Bryant. We'll talk to Nick Matthew, Anthony Romano. We also have interviews with Kareem Coleman. Tom Ryan will get in there. And so just, getting all the football guys in here this week as we launch the show. Then we will switch gears, talk some field hockey. The Rangers field hockey team is off to an amazing start, and one of the key cogs in that engine is Julia Tardugno, and she was kind enough to set up do a Skype interview with us. We'll get her on the show, and then we will just kind of talk through. Kind of get you caught up on the early fall here and what all the teams are doing and the successes that we're seeing on the field and off. So, Bill, that's the lineup. You excited?
Tim, I'm excited. I just got to give one small little regret. By missing the spring, we missed that softball team.
Yeah.
Go all the way to the finals. I know it wasn't the outcome they wanted, but it would be crazy for us not to gush a little bit over that softball team and their coaches, and it did break my heart a little bit not being on Ranger Nation Radio to talk all about those girls and how hard Jason and Jackie Rubino and the rest of the team, man, that was exciting, and I hope there's going to be big things in the future, not only for the players and parents, but for the city as far as that softball team. I'm really hoping we can take care of that team and do right by them, because every year they're competitive and they deserve so much better. They've
just been slaying it, and same here, Bill. I'm glad you said it. It was it was killing me to be on the sidelines for that, and in terms of the show, and see the success. I mean, listen, Jason Smith, he runs an amazing program every year. This team, it's 17, 18 years straight in the playoffs. I mean, just
Yep.
an insane record. But I mean, this year was even more wild and exciting than years past.
And we might have to do a little visit with some of the players and him. I know right now he's busy coaching swimming,
Yep.
and we got to give some props to the swimming team. But it would be kind of cool to kind of bring them in a couple of weeks, Tim, and just chat a little bit about what an amazing run that they had. And they really don't have a ton of seniors, so I'm confident that if the sponsors step up and we're still doing this on Wednesday nights, which we should be, that we're going to see them again next spring, and they're going to be in the thick of it.
That's real. I mean, listen, we've had winter season has suffered a couple times in a row here in terms of the show. Spring, we had some issues in the spring where I was out of the mix. My hope now is we've moved production in house with and invested in some production equipment where no matter what's going on, we'll be able to do the show high quality, and can't just depend on AFC. As amazing as Lisa has been, the key to this going on and us doing the winter, the spring with no interruptions is just getting some more sponsors involved, some more support. So this is just a continuous engine that cannot be stopped. So that's the plan. We've told you the plan for the rest of the show. We'll take a quick break, and we will come back after the break, talk some field hockey here on Ranger Nation Radio, presented by AFC Urgent Care, the right care right now. Big shout out to the folks at AFC Urgent Care, Lisa Williams and her team over there. AFC Urgent Care, the right care right now. You'll never need an appointment. Got that persistent cough and cold, that cut that needs a few stitching, or need a sports physical and don't want to wait weeks to get into your primary doctor? AFC's streamlined approach helps you be seen quickly and feel better fast. In Methuen, in the Merrimack Street Medical Professionals Building, 380R Merrimack Street, in North Andover as well, in the Burton Grill Plaza, 8 to 8 Monday to Friday, 8 to 5 Saturday and Sunday. Go to afcurgentcare.com for more details. Hey, it's Tim Wood here, host of Ranger Nation Radio. Attention small business owner, Ranger Nation needs you. We have some great sponsors here on Ranger Nation Radio, but we need more sponsors to make this show possible for the citizens of Methuen, for the fans of youth sports here in our great city. Get the best marketing bargain in the Merrimack Valley and support local journalism and youth sports all at the same time. I promise you, we will promote you to the ends of the earth for a pittance of what you will pay for other marketing opportunities. Incredible return and bang for your buck. Call me, Tim Wood, at 843-290-6242 today and learn how to get involved in Ranger Nation Radio. Back here on Ranger Nation Radio, presented by AFC Urgent Care, the right care right now. Like we said earlier, get involved. You want to sponsor the show, get involved. Reach out to me, Tim at loopweekly.com. You see Bill around town, hit him up. We will get you on the show. You see the athletic director, Matt Curran. Hit him up. We will get you on the show, and we promise we'll make it worth your while in terms of the promotion and just the warm and fuzzy feeling inside from supporting youth athletics here in Methuen. So we lead the show off with a gigantic win for the football program, 26-14. Just an outstanding win for the Rangers and Coach Tom Ryan. We don't bring it up a lot because, quite honestly, he doesn't like to bring it up a lot. But that's a big personal win for Coach Ryan. He lives in Tewksbury. He coached at Tewksbury. He vacations with their coach Brian Aylward. He has a lot of friends there in the program, and made an enemy. Some enemies this time, because the Rangers pulled off their first win over the Redmen since 2010. It's 31-30 in 2017, 22-19 in 2018. We sweated through both of those games, and so just to see this win on the record books, it's pretty amazing, right, Bill?
No, Tim, it was a hot one. It was, in the mid 80s, but it was that just muggy, hot day, and it was exciting. I think everyone, Merrimack Valley, I think all of the sports guys out there online, Twitter, all picked Methuen to lose by 1 or 2 points. Which, how could you not? I mean, that's been their track record. I will say this: I can't think of the guy's name, but I showed up and one of Tom Ryan's Pop owner and high school coach showed up, and he lives in that area, and he let me know that for the first time in 9 years, Rockland beat Abington. So he made a prediction before the game that Methuen was going to win, and It was going to be close up until the end, is what he said. And then the second thing that happened that I sensed there was going to be an upset was one of Tom Ryan's daughters to school on Friday and the game, and she goes to school in Tewksbury, wore a Methuen Rangers shirt. So talk about a gutsy little kid.
Wow.
And sure enough, the Rangers pull off the victory. And I know you and I were...
It's like wear the Red Sox hat in Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, exactly. And worse, because at least, there's a few other fans there. She was probably by herself in all of the Tewksbury schools wearing a Methuen Rangers shirt.
Wow.
So... And you and I were talking, Tim, the game had that feeling like, oh no, we're going to lose by 1. Tewksbury's going to score, tie it up 20-20, kick the field goal because...
They're up 20-14. We missed a couple extra points, right? Or one?
And our former kicker is not on the team right now, and we're really kind of battling and trying to find someone that's going to step up. And I think Methuen has found their kicker for the future, because the young man, I believe his last name was Jacinto, stepped in, and a bunch of the seniors and the captains just told him, listen, don't worry about anything. We're going to block for you. The snapper's got his job. Nick Matthew is the holder. He knows what to do there. Just kick the ball. Don't worry about it. And the kid stepped in. I think he's a sophomore. Boom, right through the uprights, and after some beginning shakiness towards the end, he was locked in, and I think moving forward that they're going to be in a much better position with their kicking game. I
mean, it was literally the same script. It was they were up 20-14. They got stopped, and Tewksbury's got great field position and had a couple big plays, and all of a sudden the script flipped.
Yeah, no, I know. And, we had a couple of penalty calls, a fumble, an untimely fumble, and the defense really had to step up. And it had that feel like, oh, no, here we go again. And some of the coaches after the game said it. Years past, I think the leadership of the players and the demeanor would have been, a helmet thrown, or not a helmet thrown, but just like, here we go again, we're going to lose. And this team, these seniors and a bunch of these players just have an attitude like, hey, we had 3 comeback wins last year. Under a minute, we're throwing touchdown passes. We're having touchdown runs to win the game at the end. We're not doing this losing thing at the end. We're going to pull out, and they've already showed that they can win a close game at the end like that against a tough Tewksbury team.
3 stops on 4th down in the second half for the Rangers. Anthony Romano just stepped up huge. A 3rd down sack during a late drive, an interception to end Tewksbury's final drive. Kareem Coleman had 2 TD catches, an interception in the end zone to stop a late go-ahead Tewksbury drive. Coleman just had a phenomenal game for the Rangers, and we've actually got some post-game interview.
Kareem, talk about that game. We just worked hard, man. These guys own us for the last 10 years. And this time, no more. Just no more.
Awesome. Talk about the game you had. Unbelievable game.
We just practiced game planning all week. I couldn't do it without Connor, none of the O-line, none of the defense, man. It's a good team win.
Would you have 2 touchdowns?
Yeah, and an interception.
Awesome. Unbelievable game. What's next? Who do you got next week?
Lowell, I think. We're watching Lowell.
Nice. So what do you know about Lowell?
They have Brendan Ty. They like to sling it. You just got to be ready.
Nice. And talk about the win for Coach Ryan.
Huge. This guy's he's just got here, couldn't even beat them. Now, first win.
Awesome. Congrats.
So it's Kareem Coleman, and as you mentioned, a big win for Coach Ryan. We also caught up with Coach Ryan after the win. Here he is.
Coach Ryan, talk about that win right now.
We haven't beaten them since 2010, so it feels real good. There's 9 years of futility and almost, last 2 years almost touchdowns and field goals and just a lot of excuses, and we didn't do that today. We finished. We had a goal line stand, and we had an 80-yard drive to seal the game. That's the difference between us now than us 7 years ago.
Awesome. Awesome. Talk about Connor Bryant tonight.
Yeah. I mean, he goes where our offensive line goes. I mean, Leslie Theodore, Jordan Duran, Sam Kalivis, all those 5 guys up front were paving the way for him. It's amazing what they were able to do under 85 degrees. They wanted to come out, and they just didn't. They just refused to give up. So it was amazing.
And for you, Tom, I know you're not that guy, but living in Tewksbury, being on their staff before, talk about the emotions today after this big win for the program.
I thought it was going to feel a little better, to be honest, because I love those guys, and Brian. I think so highly of Brian Airwood. I think he's the best coach in Massachusetts by far. It's not even close. I couldn't even remotely put myself in the same sentence as him. He's legendary in Tewksbury. He's legendary across the state of Massachusetts. We were just lucky to make some more plays than them today. But I imagine that he's going to have them ready to play BC High next week. So.
Right. And you guys vacation together?
Yeah, we do some things up at Wells Beach, and that's always fun. And I play, his son Shane is one of the best athletes in the Merrimack Valley, and we play spike ball and all the different things, and it's fun.
Be nice to be up there this year, I bet.
Yeah,
awesome.
It will be.
All right, congrats,
Thanks,
Tom.
man.
Awesome.
So Tom Ryan after the win, just a very convincing victory for the Rangers there. Bill, so I mean, listen, you're a fan, you're a father of one of the stars. I mean, to get that kind of win, you want to try to keep this even keeled, and in years past they've actually used this loss as a kind of a gut check, and they've turned it around coming off of these losses. How are you feeling in terms of what you see from this team being able to handle, now they've won, now they're 2-0, and being able to keep that even keel?
No, I think, to be honest, I think that's up to the captains, Martino, Bryant, Romano, and Coleman, as well as obviously the coaches, is to keep them focused. I think, after the game, and you're going to hear later, obviously we talked to these kids before they come on, and one of the things Romano said is the week before against Malden Catholic, they were jittery, they were hesitant, their practice wasn't as sharp, and they struggled, even though it was a big convincing win. The week of Tewksbury, they were spot on. Everyone was showing up on time, ready to go. The intensity was there. The focus was there. They all did their film work, the things they needed to do, and they pull off a big win. So I think it's up to the coaches and the leaders to make sure that they're taking things, right out of Belichick. We're on to Lowell now, and every single MVC opponent is ready to beat you. And if you're not up for the challenge, you're going to get upset, and all of a sudden now you're in the background looking up, and you can't afford that with the likes of Andover and Central, Haverhill. Every single one of these teams wants to knock you off.
And you mentioned it. We actually were able to catch up via Skype with a couple of the captains and one of the stars, Connor Bryant, Anthony Romano, and Nick Matthew. We got a great interview with them. Let's roll that. Tim Wood, Bill Bryant, Ranger Nation. Matthew, Connor Bryant, and Anthony Romano. Gentlemen, how are you tonight?
Doing good.
Very good, very good. Connor, is that a new haircut?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Limitless Barbershop.
Shout out, where?
Limitless Barbershop?
Limitless. Yes, we love Limitless. Shout out to Limitless. Well done. Well done. Who cut you today?
We got to get Limitless to throw a little love towards.
Oh yeah, I'll be going to see Christian. Don't you worry. Who cut you today?
Nate.
Nice. All right. So, Connor, let's start with you. 332 all-purpose yards, 4 touchdowns for the week. Named MVC Gridiron Weekly Player of the Week by probably about a 2-1 margin, I think. So congratulations there. Well earned. Tell me just overall your thoughts on the week, the game, the overcoming history there.
At the beginning of the week, Dugan said that we need to have a lot of focus for the game prep for this game because it would be a really big game. Everyone just needed to stay locked in no matter what. And I think throughout practice we did that. We had all really good individual periods and all stuff like that. And we played really good throughout practice. And then when it went to game time, we were ready.
Anthony, how about you? What's your view in terms of how the team delivered?
I think the team played really well. I think our defense stepped up a lot, allowing 1 touchdown and 1 on kickoff. But I think Hunter and Kareem, they all did really well, and just we all came together as a team to pull out that victory.
Bill?
No, I just wanted to talk about the physicality of that game. There seemed to be hitting and blocking. I know it's football, that's what you're supposed to do, but it seemed pretty intense the entire game. Talk a little bit about, right up to the whistle, there was just a lot of serious hitting going on. Speak to that, gentlemen.
Yeah, there was a lot of plays where me, Matt, exactly, we were running the ball and we'd get knocked down and kids would be coming in late, but we just had to be mentally tougher than them and just get up, look for the signal and move on to the next play and not let that stuff rattle us.
All right, what about Mr. Romano? What about downfield blocking? It just seemed like the intensity from everybody in that game was from first second to the last second of the game. Just talk a little bit about, your position as linebacker. There was multiple times you were 10 yards from the play, and it seemed like you were still getting checked and hit from multiple Tewksbury people.
Yeah, I think all week coming into the game, we knew that it was going to be a wicked physical game. Every year, Tewksbury is really physical, especially up front with their down linemen. And I think we were just preparing for that all week, like staying focused, like Connor said, and just like what I said, we really stepped up. Like Malden Catholic, we were kind of, I would say like hesitant, especially with first game. But Tewksbury, we were all ready, we were all in, and just playing aggressive was what was.
All right, one. I don't want to say last question because you're here, but we got the score 20-14. Defense just came up with a huge 4-down stance, and now it's 1st and 10, Methuen's ball. We got about 75 yards to go. Nick, talk a little bit about that drive because you played both ways. You were on defense, you're on there for offense. Special teams. Talk about the huddle and just the what was going on in the huddle for every play.
Yeah, it was definitely tiring because of the heat and everything. Everyone was exhausted, but we all knew that we needed to get this win, so we just told each other that we had to keep fighting and just keep putting in all our effort just to get that last touchdown to seal the deal and win.
I mean, that's the one thing that hasn't been talked about a ton is it's 85 degrees out there, and it probably felt like 100 plus on the field. How does the summer conditioning, all the conditioning during the week prepare you for those kind of conditions?
We do double sessions all at the beginning of camp, so our guys are really used to being on the turf where it's hotter than it is on the regular temperature. So I think our guys were pretty much prepared, really good for that, and we were really conditioned out on the turf. So it's usually a lot hotter. So I think we were really well prepared for that.
Anthony, you have put up beast mode defensive numbers so far. Just talk about the defense as a whole and Bill and I were texting back and forth during the game, and that 20-14 moment, that felt like 2 straight years in terms of how the game was playing out, and it was, you guys flipped the script in terms of just a huge stand there, huge defensive effort overall. But just talk about the defense and how they reversed the history there and sealed the game.
Yeah, I'm really proud of the defense, especially the D linemen, Leslie, Theodore, Jordan, and Josiah Concepcion. I think they all played really well. And we knew coming in that if we wanted to win, we'd have to have a really good day on defense. I think all around we played wicked well. Me and Caleb filling the gaps on defense. Our secondary, Nick, Kareem, Zach Bergeron, Ben Cadet, all played really well. And, yeah.
So, Anthony, talk a little bit about, I know you had an interception at the very, very end to finally seal it, but what was your positioning and your view for Kareem's interception in the end zone, which ultimately stopped one of their other drives?
Yeah, I just saw one of their slot backs running a seam right down the middle of the field, number 4, and I thought it was a straight touchdown, and I started running out of nowhere. Kareem jumps and grabs it. That was a great play by Kareem. And I think that's what we need a lot of, like, knowing that we have each other's back on the field, because, like, if Kareem wasn't there, that would have been a touchdown.
All right, there's one other guy I want to talk about a little bit that doesn't get a lot of juice, and Nick, I'll kind of start with you. You guys play with him in Pop Honor, and I know you guys have given him a lot of slack, but how important is Ben Cadet to the defensive backs? Because he was pretty much with Elwood all game, and I don't know his numbers, but I know he was taken out a lot as far as that. So how has Ben Cadet been this year?
Oh, he's been a huge part of the team. With the secondary, he's always like the best one there, and he's always with the receiver, always with the number 1 receiver guarding him, and he always seems to be right there with him and never letting them catch the ball, and always working hard.
Anyone else want to give Ben a little props?
Whenever we do offensive stuff, he's always out there right away to give us a good defensive look. And I think doing that really helps our offense, but it also helps his game, playing with the receivers that we have and getting him mentally prepared for going against the good receivers that the MVC has to offer for him.
So this win, you guys 2-0. This changes the flow of the season a little bit in terms of how you guys have had to react. In prior seasons, how are you guys as leaders keeping the team grounded and keeping them focused week to week, and with obviously with a bigger eyes on the prize and in the big picture, but just keeping them focused week to week?
Me and all the captains and the coaches have been saying, like, it's only 2-0. Like, we still have other weeks to come, and we just have to keep game playing like we did last week and just play our hearts out like we did last week. So 2-0, it sounds great, but it's a lot better when you're 3-0. So right now we're just focusing on this week, and we don't want to go too far into the future.
Lowell's got some weapons, that's for sure, and I think you're probably getting an even stronger Brendan Tye back this week. He just came back first week back last time, but I think he's probably going to be closer to 100% this week. That's for sure.
Yeah, we're definitely game planning around him right now, but we just gotta keep playing how we've been playing, and it's gonna be a quick, fast game. It's gonna be not like Tewksbury where it's physical, but this game's gonna be all about speed and having like the finesse to get around people. So it's a different week for us, but we still have to game plan the same way we did last week.
Bill, anything else from you?
No, I like to hear. I mean, how long did you get to enjoy the Tewksbury win? What was the time frame to when you could say, okay, we won, big game, and then all right, now we gotta put it behind us and focus on the next week?
The bus ride home, all day that day, and then Sunday, and that was really it.
All right, gentlemen, I'm going to put you all on the spot. I know you're a team and you don't want to single anybody out, but each one of you, give me a name of somebody that the first 2 weeks has really stepped up and may not, get all the press, all the publicity, but give me a name of somebody that is just a dirt dog that you have a ton of respect for their effort, and regardless of the position. Just give me a name.
I'm gonna have to go Leslie Theodore.
What position? What is? Give me a little.
He plays right tackle, and he's always right by my side. Whenever I'm down on the ground, he's always one of the first guys there to pick me up. So I really appreciate him being right there and protecting me and always having my back.
Sam Kalivas, he's a young kid, sophomore. He plays center, but he's right. He's been right with us all the way and working hard every single day and putting in the effort that we need to be able to win.
I'm going to say left tackle Jordan Duran, who also plays defensive tackle, who's just been a dog on the field. Same with like Leslie and Sam, just always there for us.
Nice. All right. Any final thoughts from you guys, just in terms of shout outs to family? First of all, Connor, you're taken care of, but Nick, Anthony. Actually, no, you got to give a shout out to the mom and the sister and the dog, right?
Yeah, definitely shout out to my family and to my girlfriend right now, who's behind the camera, helping us out right now. So
that's just a serious suck up right there. That's unnecessary PDA.
And he leaves Lucy out,
right?
The
he goes to
dog
Farrah
gets
before
no juice.
Lucy. That cuts rough right there. Nick, how about you?
My family, my mom and my dad, they're always there supporting me no matter what. Like against Malden Catholic, the weather was terrible and it was rainy, and then against Tewksbury it was wicked hot, but they were there through the first minute to the last minute. And then also my girlfriend Olivia Hubert, she's always there supporting me. She's a cheerleader, so she has to be there. But
Nick, what about your sister that's an ex-Ranger that's now playing college softball? Talk a little bit about your Coralie.
Yeah, she's been good. I know she had an injury last season. She tore her ACL, but she's been working back to be better and come back for the new season and just work hard. That's I get it from her too. She's always working hard, putting in all this effort to become the best that she can be.
What's your mom and dad's name, Nick?
Mary Jo and Bob.
Got to get their names out there. That's some good genetics they passed on to you on the athletic side for sure. Anthony, how about you?
Yeah. Shout out mom and dad, and shout out my grandmother, Cheryl.
How about names?
Tony Romano, Kyle, my mom.
Mom? What's your mom's
Kyle
name?
Romano. Yeah, Kyle Romano, my mom.
Nice. All right. No girlfriend to shout out?
Oh yeah, shout out my girl.
I just wanted to go 3 for 3 here. I didn't, because I don't want them to make you look bad here,
That just happened, so you're going to get some
that just
issues
happened
in a little while.
All right, so we got a surprise before we end this. A week of honors, but this is going to one of you, but it's really on behalf of the whole team. AFC Urgent Care they're the title sponsor for the show. Phenomenal people, Lisa Williams and the whole crew over at AFC Urgent Care. They sponsor the show, but they're also sponsoring a Player of the Week. And each week we will name a MHS Star of the Week, and AFC Urgent Care will donate $100 each week to the MHS All Sports Booster Club. And this week's winner won Connor Bryant. 332 all-purpose yards, 4 touchdowns in the win. Connor, any words you'd like to say in terms of the win?
It was pretty cool, and it was definitely a game that I wanted to win, and definitely my linemen played really well, and that's what I was really, really proud about. And they stuck out through the entire game, and they was working hard. So.
And I'm sure you want to give a shout out to AFC Urgent Care, yes?
Yeah, thank you to them, because I always go to them for physicals whenever I need it, and without the physical, I'm obviously able to play. So thank you, AFC Urgent Care.
Nice.
So Tim, just for the record, I didn't know about this, this booster donation, but Connor and my daughter Julia both got their physicals this year at AFC on Merrimack Street. So Lisa has been a huge supporter, but this is a great thing for the boosters, and the partnership with AFC Urgent Care is tremendous.
I said it. I said it 3 times to her just to be, because $100 every week they're going to donate on behalf of one of the Methuen High School athletes. It's so far above and beyond. I just couldn't believe it. I should believe it because Lisa has been phenomenal. When we got this show up and running to start with, she was one of the first on board. We were late to the game. I was ill this year, so we were late to the game. Weren't sure if we were going to do this show. And again, she was the first person I reached out to, and it took about her 20 seconds for her to respond and say, "Of course we're in. We love you guys. We love the show. We love being part of Methuen High and Methuen Athletics." So huge shout out to AFC Urgent Care. Okay, guys. Big thank you for joining the show and for taking some time out on a weeknight for us, and congratulations on the start, and we'll be rooting for you this week and beyond.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So great work there by Connor, by Anthony, by Nick, and Bill. It just goes to show you the leadership that this team and the results that come from that leadership.
No, it is, and when you listen to them, you can hear a little bit of Coach Ryan in there coming out, because you don't hear any one of these kids, even Coleman, giving props to somebody else. The kid had one of the most athletic moves I've seen in a long time with the interception. You got Connor having, 175 yards, on the ground, and he's giving the props to the linemen, because that's what you have to do. You're not going to get through those holes if those kids aren't battling and doing what they need to do. So absolutely, but their mentality is right on. There's some individual accomplishments, but the team is one who wins, and unfortunately the team will lose if they're not together doing what they need to do.
All right, Ranger Nation, get out this Saturday. Lowell's coming to town. As we mentioned, the Red Raiders, they got a lot of talent on that team. With Neal, the quarterback, Ty the receiver, and a lot of talent. The results haven't maybe been what they want so far, but one thing we know is Coach John Florence is going to have that team ready.
No, absolutely. They had a big win against Billerica, which it looks like Billerica's down a little bit right now, and I think I was at the North Andover Lowell game, and one of the things I heard was from one of the North Andover sides was it looks like North Andover is playing their best game of the season. I know it's early, and it just looked like Lowell just could not get out of their own way, and it just showed that when you do not show up, it's going to be a 20-point game. So I don't think Lowell's going to have 2 weeks in a row where they're not prepared, and they're going to definitely be prepared for the Rangers.
1 p.m. out there at Nicholson, right?
Yeah, 1 p.m. Come out. It's a great afternoon. We've already had one home game, and I'll be honest, Tim, I was surprised by how many people were there, being that it was a Saturday afternoon game. There was a lot more parents bringing younger kids.
And rainy, the first game.
You know what it was, and luckily it started raining after everyone got there, so nobody wanted to leave because they knew it was going to be an exciting game. But there definitely seemed to be a different crowd, so we're just hoping this week with them being 2-0, we're going to get a whole bunch of the high school kids to come out and watch the Ranger Nation football.
Awesome. All right, so we will take a quick break here. Come back after the break. We'll talk Rangers field hockey here on Ranger Nation Radio, presented by AFC Urgent Care, the right care right now. Big shout out to the folks at AFC Urgent Care, Lisa Williams and her team over there. AFC Urgent Care, the right care right now. You'll never need an appointment. Got that persistent cough and cold, that cut that needs a few stitching, or need a sports physical and don't want to wait weeks to get into your primary doctor? AFC's streamlined approach helps you be seen quickly and feel better fast. In Methuen, in the Merrimack Street Medical Professionals Building, 380R Merrimack Street. In North Andover as well, in the Burton Grill Plaza, 8 to 8 Monday to Friday, 8 to 5 Saturday and Sunday. Go to afcurgentcare.com for more details. Back here on Ranger Nation Radio, presented by AFC Urgent Care, the right care right now. Gotta get into a phenomenal season in the midst from the Methuen Rangers field hockey season. Bill, they are just off to an outstanding start. I mean, Kristen Swales has built a winning tradition there, and they're off to a phenomenal start. 4-0-3 start for them. Claudia Crow leads the team with 6 goals and assists. Izzy Putnam, the goalie, 65 saves so far this season. Just kind of a recap of the week and the season so far. 5-0 win over Lawrence on Tuesday. Peyton Patisse scored twice. Natalie Fiato, Piper Hughes, Olivia London, Julia Tarugno each scored a goal apiece. The defense didn't allow a shot on goal, giving Izzy Putnam another shutout. And then a 1-1 tie at North Andover on September 20th, which, ties you hate, but in this case, North Andover's a huge rival, just a top tier program, not only in the NBC but around the state, and they scored a 1-1 tie. Natalie Fiato scored the Rangers' lone goal. Izzy Putnam, incredible 25 saves, and Kaya Hollingsworth, just a big defensive effort from the whole team, but Kaya made a big defensive save to keep the 1-1 tie intact. And then one of the other highlights, a 4-1 win at Drake on September 18th. Claudia Crow with 2 goals to lead the Rangers. Natalie Fiato, Charlotte Putnam with a goal apiece, and Izzy, her sister, with 3 saves in that game. So, Bill, the Rangers just off to a phenomenal start so far.
Tim, you hit up on all the names. I think I'm glad you talked about Kaya, the all-world girls hockey goalie for the Red Rangers of Methuen Tewksbury is back. I know she took last year off, and it's awesome to see Kaya playing a fall sport. I think real quick, Tim, I just want to hit on something that people do not realize. Coach Kristen Swales has been the field hockey coach for a few years, and what she was realizing is she was having to teach girls how to play field hockey because Methuen did not have a youth program, which is a whole nother conversation, Tim, about some of my concerns with Methuen, that we're not able to compete with other cities and towns because we're not doing enough for our kids. Whole nother conversation that I'll continue to bring up.
Absolutely. You and me both.
Kristen Swales goes out, and what does she do? Does she complain? Does she use it as an excuse? No. Kristen starts her own youth field hockey program, and I think this is the 3rd or 4th year that she's doing it. And look, now she's having a winning season. Let's talk correlation. You have a youth program that is supported by the high school, and now you're starting to have not just success built on these great coaches building great young kids and future leaders. You're not having success with scores. You're playing up to par with a school like North Andover that has had a youth program for a long time. So not only hats off to Coach Swales for having a great season, but having the time and the energy and effort to go out and start a youth girls field hockey program. We are so lucky to have coaches like that. And same with Matt Toomey. Matt wants to win a state title in volleyball. What does he do? He goes out and he starts on his own. In the beginning, not a lot of help, but enough people started, making phone calls and doing that. Matt starts his own volleyball youth program. Once again, we've got to take care of these coaches.
Absolutely. Couldn't have said it better. We are very fortunate to have on the line via Skype with us one of the stars for the team. I think we've got Julia Tarugno punched up now. Let's talk to her. Tim Wood with Ranger Nation Radio. Here interviewing Julia Tarugno with the MHS field hockey team. Julia, how are you today?
I'm very good. How are you?
Excellent. Really appreciate you joining us.
I'm excited to be here.
Awesome. So tell us, how's the season going so far? You know, like I keep seeing these surprising Rangers, but I mean, this doesn't seem like much of a surprise to you guys.
Yeah, I mean, I'm super excited for the season going in. I was ready because I knew this team was going to be really good. We had a lot of returning starters this year coming back. And I'm really excited about our season right now. Our record is 4-0-3, so right now we're still undefeated, hoping to stay that way as long as we can. Our team's doing great. I'm super excited to see how far we can take this season.
What do you think has been the biggest highlights for you this season so far?
For me personally, it's just I know every girl on the team. I've known them from before playing sports with them and playing through high school. So I think our team has really good chemistry this season. So I'm extremely excited to keep working with them and again see how far we can go this season.
Absolutely. Now, you are also a star for the Rangers track team. So I've got your bio up on the screen now. Your sister Stephanie, yes?
Yes.
And then you're number 10 in the senior class right now with a 4.47 GPA?
Yes, I am.
Wow. And then you're also one of the leaders for the MHS Relay for Life team.
Mm-hmm.
Your father Barry and Uncle Jay were MHS standout athletes in the 80s.
Yep.
Now, how does that work in terms of the family name, in terms of just kind of carrying on through tradition? Any pressure?
Sorry, I think I lost you there.
Can you see me?
Oh, there we go.
Okay, you see me? Okay.
I lost you for a quick second. Okay. I got you back.
So tell me just in terms of the family tradition and kind of carrying on the name at MHS.
Well, I know my dad, he loves sports, all sports. The moment I came to the high school, he was like, all right, do sports. It helps you find new friends and stuff, and it's just a great experience. So I got to the high school. I've been playing sports my entire life. So I got to high school, and I was like, let's try field hockey. And I just have loved it. My dad and both my parents actually have helped push me so much to be a good leader for the team and work hard throughout the season and also keep my grades up at the same time. So
how do you manage that juggle in terms of just the grades, the sports? I mean, that's the constant question we're always asking athletes.
Yeah, honestly, I like to map out a schedule for myself because I'm a very organized person. So I like to have every part of my day mapped out so I know how much time I have to do homework, how to focus on sports and all that different stuff. And my family's really supportive with helping me out and giving me the time I need to focus on school and sports at the same time.
Now, how competitive are you and your sister in terms of the accolades?
Oh, we're super competitive all the time. Yeah, luckily now, once I got to the high school, we kind of split off with sports now. She does soccer, softball, basketball, and then I do track and field hockey. But we're still very competitive with each other. Me and also my other two sisters, too. So.
Who's your other two sisters?
Brooke Turtigno and Alex Turtigno.
Ah, yes. Okay. So there's no overlap right now? Is that on purpose, just so that we can keep the competition at somewhat of a friendly level?
I mean, kind of in a way. I actually used to do soccer and basketball and those sports, but I found I liked field hockey and track a lot more. Steph and Brooke, they've been playing they play soccer, basketball, and soccer together all the time. And now Brooke's at the high school, so it's kind of more them being more competitive with each other.
Yeah.
But. Yeah, I'm so competitive with my sisters all the time.
So tell me about, in terms of the season so far. You guys had a big win the other day. You got a couple goals on the season so far. How is this season shaken out so far in terms of your expectations?
I'm expecting our team to do really well this season because I know the potential we have, especially during practices, watching the team work together. I think so far, our biggest win was North Andover. Well, we tied North Andover, but that just shows that we can keep up with these D1 teams for high school. So I'm extremely excited to see how we do against all these other big teams like Central and Andover. So I think we can keep up. So I'm excited.
You have You've been part of. Have you been part of the program since a freshman?
Yes.
So you kind of been on the cusp here. I mean, you guys have had some success while you've been there for sure, but you've been kind of on the cusp in terms of the playoffs. A first round loss to Lexington last year, real tight game. Without thinking too far ahead, I mean, coming into the season, what was the playoff goals coming into the season?
Pretty much, we just wanted to make sure for our goals that we were working together as a team and communicating really well. We need to make sure we're moving the ball everywhere so that everybody can work together to help us score goals. And yeah, we're trying to get back to states and win some games this season. So,
do you feel just from what you've seen that this team is kind of is kind of melding in a way that can get you to that next level on the playoff level?
I think for sure. I think we're all starting to figure out how we all work together because there are some new underclassmen who've been coming up now. So I think we're all trying to figure out how to work together. So I think that'll definitely help us in the long run when it comes to states.
Tell us about some of those underclassmen that we may not have heard about yet.
So we have a few freshmen coming up. We have Vanessa, and who else do we have? We have a bunch of sophomores coming up too. Kira Muse, Olivia London, Sophia LaChance. Who else? Actually, our goalie's younger sister, Charlotte, is on the team this year too.
Yeah, Charlotte's got a couple goals, right?
Yeah. Yep. So, yeah, it's very exciting. We have one of our attorneys, actually, Natalia, who's a sophomore this year, and I'm super excited to see her keep playing because she's doing great right now. So, yeah,
what's her last name?
The good thing is Natalia Fiato.
Okay, yes, absolutely. She's got what, 3 goals so far. So she a lot of contributions, I guess, on and off the score sheet, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Tell us a little bit about Izzy. I mean, she's had a couple of incredible games here. That North Andover game, she had 25 saves. Tell us a little bit about her.
She's incredible. I mean, she works super hard during practice. She's always giving us all a tough time when we're scoring and stuff. When it comes down to game time, she's ready, though, all the time. She's good at communicating with us. Like, I'm a defender on the team, and she's really good with telling me, like, where to go and where to play so that she's able to do her job.
So what, for those that are not, so I'm familiar with field hockey. My older sister, she still holds the scoring record in New Hampshire for career. She was crazy. Sue Hucky Wood. Yeah, she's so I'm familiar. I grew up watching field hockey and kind of like idolizing Sue. But for those who aren't that familiar with field hockey, what are the? I mean, people will compare it to soccer just in terms of the scoring, or lacrosse. I mean, tell us what makes field hockey unique and exciting for you and your teammates.
For me personally, like, the best way to describe field hockey, honestly, would be probably a mix between soccer and hockey in a way. You're running on the field all the time. No matter what position you're playing, you're always running. And you have to make sure your passes are connecting with your teammates and stuff. There are a bunch of rules in field hockey. So it always, depending on the reps you get, sometimes it can be a very different game every time. So
what's the most unique goal? Because that is the one thing that a lot of folks say to me, like they're trying to absorb all the rules. What is like the most unique rule that was difficult for you getting used to learning the sport?
I'm trying to think. There's so many different things. Sometimes certain hits will be dangerous, they consider it. So sometimes if I throw a ball up into the air almost, it would be too high or too close to somebody. So it kind of just depends on the ref too. So that one's always different. We have our captain, 2 of my fellow captains, Claudia and Piper. They both love to throw the aerial up in the air, which is like a really high thrown ball. And like sometimes the ref will let it go, sometimes not. So it makes the game very interesting.
Now, what made the North Andover game so huge for you guys? Just a big rival, a top contender, or just is it more personal in terms of how you guys have competed against them?
I mean, I know for me, and I think a lot of the team too, it's just they're such a good, talented team that to keep up with them and to keep them to one goal and then score a goal ourselves, it was like extremely important to like boost our confidence and let us know that we can compete with these higher level teams.
Absolutely. So tell us a little bit about Coach Swales and just I guess the rest of the coaching staff and how they motivate you.
Coach Swales, she's tough, but it definitely helps us a lot. Like you can see how we improve throughout the season. She's always making sure we're working hard every single practice, every day. She definitely is big on our team bonding, which is really important. It helps a lot when you have good team chemistry, so she's very on top of us for that, and it helps a lot. And then our goalie coach, Jillian Tobin, she's such a big help. She's awesome. They're both great coaches. I couldn't ask for anyone better.
In terms of like teachers in school, or who do you want to give some shout outs to, teachers, family, friends, in terms of the folks that have really helped motivate you on the field and off?
Honestly, all my teachers have been great. Probably for shout outs.
That's a suck up answer. Come on.
I've actually been really lucky with teachers at the high school, but for shout outs, I'd have to probably give one out to Mr. Scammon. He's the best teacher ever. Like,
what's he teach?
I learned so much from that class. For me, he taught AP Psychology.
Ah, yes, okay. My son's in AP Psych this year, so huge fan.
It's such a fun class. He makes it a lot of fun. He's always there if you need help with anything. He's always helping us out and giving us advice, so he's a great teacher. He's awesome.
Anyone else that you want to give some shout outs to? I mean, you know, I don't want to get you in trouble with the family, so probably should mention the family.
So yeah, I mean, my family, they're awesome. They support me, school, sports, just everything all the time. I love them so much.
Dad, Barry, mom?
Yep.
What's your mom's name?
Sherry.
Sherry, okay, yep. Absolutely. Yep. Facebook friend, so I just wanted to
Yep.
So in terms of your future, what are you looking at? Have you started the college process and started to narrow things down yet, or are you where are you at with that?
Yeah, so I've decided I definitely think I'm leaning towards majoring in education. The idea of being a teacher, I've always wanted to be a teacher for so long, and I just think that'd be I would love to do that for a job. So
that's
schools,
fantastic. We need more great teachers.
Yeah, for schools, I've definitely been narrowing it down. I like WNEU a lot, and then Framingham State, Endicott, and Assumption. Those are my top 4 right now. So
nice.
We're still looking, though.
Yep. When do you see yourself narrowing it down? Like the letter of intent? I mean, are you looking to play sports in college?
Yeah, I think it would be really fun to play sports so I can get to meet new people and stuff, and I've just been playing sports forever, so I don't think that could ever get out of my life that quickly.
Do you have any time for any other clubs, or is sports kind of your club scene?
I actually do a lot of sports at the high school. I'm on the leadership team for SAD, or Students Against Destructive Decisions. I'm a Relay for Life tri-chair, as well as I'm actually the chairperson for Debbie's Treasure Chest this year, so I'm super excited for that.
Oh wow, that's fantastic! Debbie's Treasure Chest, that's an amazing. The Harvey family, just amazing.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah, so yeah, congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Where can, just a quick shout out there, like where can people get in touch with you guys in terms of Debbie's Treasure Chest?
I actually started an email. I don't know it off the top of my head right now. They can always email my school email or just get in touch with me. We have a few girls at the high school that I know are going to be helping me out. One of them is Johnny. She's a sophomore at the high school, so I know a lot of people will know her. They can always reach out to her. And, yeah, it's probably the best way. I know Mr. Curran helps out a lot with that stuff, too, because we do the toy drive at the high school.
Absolutely, always doing the toy drive, yep.
Reach out to Mr. Curran. Mr. Barton's a big supporter, and so, yeah,
that's
any
awesome.
of them.
Yeah, it's a great, just everything you mentioned, great programs. In terms of what's ahead for the team, what are the biggest challenges you think ahead of you guys?
Probably I don't know. I'm trying to think. Challenge is just to try to keep up with those big teams like Central, and if we lose a game, like just don't get down on ourselves. I know a lot of girls like will get extremely nervous, especially coming up. They're like, oh, like I don't want to make a mistake, but we just have to keep playing our best and working together. So,
what kind of advice would you give to student athletes, just in terms of you've kind of been through the grind now? You're on the you're in the twilight of your high school career, so to speak. Well, I mean, what kind of advice would you give in terms of the hurdles you got to get over?
Probably just to keep working, don't give up. I mean, I know a lot of stress comes from school, and like even if you're doing sports and clubs and stuff, but just keep working because it's all going to work out in the end. So
awesome. Huge thank you for making some time for us. We're doing some new things with the show this year, and being able to do video and Skype interviews is definitely one of the new components. A lot of video, a lot of photos that we're going to get in there as well. So spread the word. We're back, and we really appreciate you getting in here.
Okay, great.
Congratulations on the success so far, and good luck with the rest of the season here. We'll be watching you.
Thank you.
Absolutely. All right, huge thank you to Julia Taragno from the Rangers field hockey team off to a incredible start so far. Not a shock in terms of just what's been built there by Coach Swales and her staff, but yeah, this team seems poised to get over that playoff hump this year, Bill. Get out of the first round of the playoffs.
No, absolutely. I think that they've been building, and they've got a bunch of battle-tested kids that have been competitive in other sports, and here we are. Here we are, ready to
roll.
No, absolutely.
All right, so we will take a quick break here. We'll come back after the break. We got a ton more sports to talk about, and we will do that right after the break here on Ranger Nation Radio, presented by AFC Urgent Care, the right care right now. Big shout out to the folks at AFC Urgent Care, Lisa Williams and her team over there. AFC Urgent Care, the right care right now. You'll never need an appointment. Got that persistent cough and cold, that cut that needs a few stitching, or need a sports physical and don't want to wait weeks to get into your primary doctor? AFC's streamlined approach helps you be seen quickly and feel better fast. In Methuen, in the Merrimack Street Medical Professionals Building, 380R Merrimack Street, in North Andover as well, in the Burton Grill Plaza, 8 to 8 Monday to Friday, 8 to 5 Saturday and Sunday. Go to afcurgentcare.com for more details. Hey, it's Tim Wood here, host of Ranger Nation Radio. Attention small business owner, Ranger Nation needs you. We have some great sponsors here on Ranger Nation Radio, but we need more sponsors to make this show possible for the citizens of Methuen, for the fans of youth sports here in our great city. Get the best marketing bargain in the Merrimack Valley and support local journalism and youth sports all at the same time. I promise you, we will promote you to the ends of the earth for a pittance of what you will pay for other marketing opportunities. Incredible return and bang for your buck. Call me, Tim Wood, at 843-290-6242 today and learn how to get involved in Ranger Nation Radio. Tim Wood, Bill Bryant, back here on Ranger Nation Radio, presented by AFC Urgent Care. I was going to say AFC Urgent Care Radio. Might as well. They're all over the place.
Take care of the sponsors, Timmy.
Absolutely. All right. A ton more sports to get to. First out of the gates, I want to talk a little golf. The golf team off to a great start. 19-1 win over Lawrence on Tuesday. C.J. Brown, Zach Alfonso, Grace McKinnon, Brian Zarakit, and Josh Frechette earned wins, and Jake Becker earned a tie in a big win over Lawrence. Huge week ahead for the golf team. That Thursday versus Lowell, Friday at Greater Lawrence, Monday versus Haverhill, Tuesday versus Lawrence. Couple of matches out there at Merrimack Valley Golf Club if you want to see the Rangers in action. In terms of win leaders and match leaders for the season, as you see the graphic up on screen, Josh Frechette with leading the way with 4 wins so far this season. 4 individual wins. Xavier Cordero, 3 wins and a tie. Grace McKinnon, 3 wins and a tie. Zach Alfonso, 3 wins and a tie, and you see the rest of the leaders up there on the screen. But a great start so far for the golf program, Bill.
No, Tim, once again, just building. You got a great coach in Jason Sims, and he's just been building each year. And, he's got a couple of kids that seem to step up, but he's really building that core. Zaracket, you're talking about, Hutchinson. There's some other kids that are just, freshman, sophomore, that he's recruiting in a way within the high school. He's recruiting. He's getting kids to get active and do something each season, and it just shows, and he's building a winning tradition.
No doubt. And I don't think we've been on the air. He got married this summer, right?
He did. He got married this summer.
Absolutely.
Yep. He's been a little busy. He started a summer lacrosse program off season, no coaches. 4 teams. He wants to keep the lacrosse program going, and obviously, he helped out with the golf tournament. It was at Merrimack. Merrimack's a huge support of Methuen Golf. They basically have access to the range and the course for nothing. So Jason was around. He participated in the golf tournament, helped out a ton, and he's as active as they can. He's definitely been bummed out because he hasn't been announcing the football games with them moving to Saturday. He's had some Saturday commitments, and not to speak poorly about Jason, but Dave LaCroix has been doing a pretty good job. Dave's an administrator in the Methuen Public Schools and does the basketball games and has been filling in nicely. But we definitely miss Jason a little bit. He's
legit now. I mean, is that a Wally Pipp situation? Is he worried he's not going to get the gig back?
Right.
Nice. For those of you who do not know Wally Pipp, just look it up on Google. I dated myself a little there, but look it up. Anyway, all right, on to volleyball. Another sport that's off to a great start. Girls volleyball, they're 4-4 so far. 3-0 win over Beverly on September 17th. Rangers swept it 25-19, 25-22, 25-20. Jillian McCoy with 10 kills. Rachel Batista, 5 blocks. Kate McDonald, 21 assists. Aaron Smith, 10 service points, 4 aces. Emily Spina and Samantha Dreened, 6 digs each. So that's the big win highlight of the season. As you see in the stat leaders, Jillian McCoy leading in kills, Sam Dreen not far, and Meg Levesque not far behind. Batista leading in blocks, Levesque and Nunez not far behind. Kate McDonald just dominating in assists with 113 assists. Aaron Smith with 38 service points. Smith with 20 aces. Dreened, Spina, and McDonald not too far behind in terms of the aces there. McCoy leading the way with 35 digs. Spina 26. McDonald and Dreen not far behind as well. So a lot of names contributing there for Rangers girls volleyball.
Yeah, no, that's once again another group. It's pretty exciting, and right now I don't know if people know they've been doing all away games, Tim, with the field house being redone. They've been away each of their games, which is not easy. It's not easy to have no home games whatsoever.
What's the situation in terms of the field house? What is there an ETA on it at this point?
I don't know. I know it was a holdup with the bleachers. There was a floor issue a little bit, which delayed it, and then the bleachers has caused a delay. So they can't really line it and through the final seal, I believe, without the bleachers in. So they're using it a little bit but you don't want to scuff it all up and get it messed up without having the final coat on there. So I think they're being really cautious, but it pops, man. Without having the bleachers there, it's obviously much bigger than it is, and it looks great. But to finally have the big humps and the broken areas gone, and it's nice and surfaced, it's just exciting. We're finally taking care of the things that we need to take care of, throughout the schools and also the city.
I got you. I mean, just to like you said, to be 4-4 at this point, playing all those games on the road, and they've got a gauntlet next week that they're going to be rolling through. All those games away from Methuen, just a phenomenal job by the program so far.
And you got a veteran coach in Coach Toomey who just he knows how to do his business. He's coached some winning programs before, but you see it also on Twitter. They're doing the family dinners. They're bonding. There's just such a great formula at Methuen High School, and this isn't being a Yahoo. This is seeing Matt Curran come in. Matt sets the tone as far as communication. He's all over Twitter, all over Instagram. He's putting out videos. He's doing interviews. He's promoting the student athletes, and it's catchy. And then he has high expectations of the coaches, and they're raising the bar. You don't think that they're watching each other saying, okay, football is doing a Thursday night meal for all the players. Hockey does this, baseball does this, and I think girls hockey kind of set the tone as far as off-season conditioning as well. I mean, football's been doing it for a while, but hockey showed if you work out off-season and you're conditioned, it equals championships, and they go and win a state title. And I think, the boys' soccer coach, Henry Marin, is new, and he's got a partner with a guy that's doing off-season workouts. I think it's Catano. You have Brendan Madugno doing Become Fitness, and it's catchy. And it's good for the kids, Tim. They're eating better, they're working out, they're building their core, and it's kind of sweeping through the high school, and it's really exciting. It's exciting to see, and it equals wins.
You mentioned boys soccer. They scored a 3-3 tie against Georgetown. Again, a powerhouse program that was undefeated before the Rangers took them on, and they scored a 3-3 tie on September 14th. Caleb Agbo with 2 goals, and with that, the Rangers already have more points this year than all of last year. So a huge achievement there, but more to come there. Also, a win over Lawrence on September 12th. They trailed 1-0 at the half. Agbo scored twice in the second half. Ayub Dakiri added a late goal, and so a 3-1 come from behind win there for the Rangers. They're at Central Catholic on Tuesday, and then home against Andover, and it says 7 p.m. on the screen, but because of the virus situation, the EEE, I think that's a 4 p.m. start. So 4 p.m. start there on Thursday, October 3rd. A home game that you fans can get out to support the Rangers. So like you said, Bill, Kember Lehman's got 2 goals, and Nassim Ben Demerad has a goal. Ethan Donahue's been phenomenal in goal for the Rangers. 64 saves so far. So just a lot of positives, and starting to reflect in the record. And like you said, they may not have won them all, but they've been ultra competitive this year.
No, Tim, and I've gone to a couple of the games. I haven't been able to stay for the whole game. I'm a little busy, but
I don't know what else you got going on. Yeah.
I'm afraid to mention that, Tim. I don't want to get everyone up in arms, but I might throw a little plug out there for myself before we end. But one of the purchases of the boosters were these elastic, like these rubber bands, and the conditioning that Coach Marin is doing wasn't just off season. It's throughout the season as well, making sure that kids are working out still, but also healing and taking care of themselves. and you see that each and every week. And what I'm hearing from parents is the soccer team, the boys soccer team this year, looks in much better shape. In the past, I think they've hung around the first period, they've hung around the second period, and you go against a team like Central, you don't have the depth to be able to kind of stay with them later on, because there is kids from Methuen that are going to Central, so you're losing some of your depth there, and they're able to stay in deeper in games because the kids are showing up in season more physically fit and able to go, which is phenomenal.
All right, so we've talked golf, volleyball, boys soccer. We'll take a quick break here. We will finish up the show talking about swimming, cross country, girls soccer. We'll send some shout outs, talk about a fundraiser coming up, and say our goodbyes for the first fall edition of Ranger Nation Radio, presented by AFC Urgent Care, the right care right now. Big shout out to the folks at AFC Urgent Care, Lisa Williams and her team over there. AFC Urgent Care, the right care right now. You'll never need an appointment. Got that persistent cough and cold, that cut that needs a few stitching, or need a sports physical and don't want to wait weeks to get into your primary doctor? AFC's streamlined approach helps you be seen quickly and feel better fast. In Methuen, in the Merrimack Street Medical Professionals Building, 380R Merrimack Street, in North Andover as well, in the Burton Grill Plaza, 8 to 8 Monday to Friday, 8 to 5 Saturday and Sunday. Go to afcurgentcare.com for more details. Hey, it's Tim Wood here, host of Ranger Nation Radio. Attention small business owner, Ranger Nation needs you. We have some great sponsors here on Ranger Nation Radio, but we need more sponsors to make this show possible for the citizens of Methuen, for the fans of youth sports here in our great city. Get the best marketing bargain in the Merrimack Valley and support local journalism and youth sports all at the same time. I promise you, we will promote you to the ends of the earth for a pittance of what you will pay for other marketing opportunities. Incredible return and bang for your buck. Call me, Tim Wood, at 843-290-6242 today and learn how to get involved in Ranger Nation Radio. Tim Wood, Bill Bryant back with you, the premiere of the fall 2019 season of Ranger Nation Radio. You are part of the magic presented by AFC Urgent Care, the right care right now. Bill, we're talking what are we talking? We're talking swimming here. Coach Jason Smith has the team primed, the Methuen-Tewksbury team primed for another great season. Some great individual efforts thus far. Couple losses as of late that have been stingers, but a great team in the building here. 96-88 loss to Central Catholic on September 20th. Methuen-Tewksbury won the 200 medley relay. Ava Fasella, Callie Delano, Caitlin LeGoyd, and Kyra Donahue with the medley win there. Flores won the diving event. Fasella won the 100 backstroke. Methuen-Tewksbury won the 400 free relay as well. Donahue, Sam De Niro, Fasella, and Katie Lefebvre with the free relay win there. A 95-83 loss to Andover on September 17th. Kyra Donahue with the 200 freestyle win. Ava Fasella won the 50 free. And Caleb Canavan won the diving event. Their next meet is Wednesday, October 2nd against Drakeit. And you see the individual event winners there on the screen. But Bill, Coach Smith, the wins might not be there, but a lot of talent building here from the Methuen-Tewksbury swim team.
No, and I think Coach Smith, did his thing in softball. Has been doing it for years, and I think he's slowly building the swimming program up. And some of the names that you've been talking about, Tim, social media and knowing the parents. These are kids that are part of the Bradford Swimming Club, and they're out there, and they're getting in shape, and they're learning how to swim at a competitive level, a little younger. So they're bringing some skill to the high school team, and you're only going to see that team continue to get better and better.
What a crazy concept it would be if we had a pool in Methuen, right?
You got me speechless, Tim, and I think it's something that we need to talk about.
Absolutely. So, congrats to the swim team. Big things building there. Some great individual efforts as of late, but big things ahead in the future for Jason Smith and the whole crew over there. The cross country team, yeah.
I'd love to see a naysayer talk about not wanting a pool, like. Who wouldn't want to teach a little kid how to swim, or somebody that's a little bit older needing to get exercise and can't necessarily run or jog or whatever, jumping in the pool. So I don't think there's going to be too many naysayers that say that Methuen, the city of 50,000, shouldn't have a pool.
I mean, from age 5 to age 105, everyone can use that. Everybody can see the benefit of that. So I know you're right. I'll gladly get into that argument because it's a losing argument for anybody on the other side. So the cross country team, boys with a big win over Andover on September 18th. The race was run at the Tenny for the first time since 1996. It was the home of cross country for well over a decade. A great effort by the coaches, by Principal Marianne Donovan to get that up and running at the Tenny. So and the Rangers took advantage. Xavier Methuen.
Oh, you're all on your own.
I butchered it. Yeah, okay. Yeah. He set a course record and finished first with a time of 15:13. Freddie Coleman finished second. Jason Dibble fourth. Mike Susi ninth. So a good win there for the Rangers over Andover. And then some strong individual finishes at a jam-packed McDougal Invitational on September 14th. Methuen finished third for the boys, Coleman 5th, Dibble 20th, Crow 26th, among hundreds of runners there. So great finishes for the boys. On the girls' side, Miana Carabella 21st, Zoe Tui 27th, Laura Abreu 37th, Mia Torres 38th for the girls' cross-country team. So Kevin Elliott and the coaches over there once again got the Rangers running strong.
No, they do, Tim, and they just keep producing phenomenal track athletes. Don't forget, we just lost a couple of female track stars that have gone on to some big name colleges for scholarships.
Absolutely, Sarah Fragioni
just left. Fragioni, so it's a constant process to have to keep training these younger kids to step up, and these coaches keep repeating and keeping these teams competitive and in great shape.
And real quick, you mentioned a couple of players moved on. We want to just throw it out there. We want to send a challenge to all of the Ranger Nation alumni that are off at school right now, that are doing the student athlete thing at school. Hey, get on your phones. Record a quick video. Tell us how you're doing. We can get it from Matt Curran, but we've got the technology now to get you on screen. And all of Methuen wants to know how you're doing. We're going to work on that. But if we know a lot of the alumni tune into the show, if you are tuning in, record a video. Send it over to Matt Curran. You can send it to me at tim@loopweekly.com. Text me 843-290-6242. Get it to us. We will get it on the air. We want to know how you're doing.
Tim, I don't know. You might have a picture of Liam McDonald at Western New England College. There was a picture of him with some other redhead during a college visit. Liam, after the game, he's one of the team captains, and he was kind enough to come over and take a quick picture with the current varsity quarterback after a tough battle against Springfield College. And in week 2. So we can, probably put that picture up and show our alumni. Even send in a picture. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to see how you're doing. And obviously last year's senior class is all playing. I know Isaac Frederic is playing some football right now, and we've got a bunch of kids that are doing really well that have graduated from Methuen High.
Absolutely, and let me see if I can punch that up here. Let me see here. We have the technology. There it is on the fly. You're seeing Liam and Connor and me in the background, but on the fly we're doing that. So there is our alumni picture of the week. So challenge accepted, Bill.
Does Liam look like he just battled for 4 quarters?
Yes. No. I mean, he's just a stud. It's like J.J. Watt. You know?
He does. He really does.
Seriously. All right. So, last but not least, in terms of our wrap-up for the week, the girls' soccer team, they are off strong. Let me see here. Girls' soccer. Punch that up. What happened? All right. Girls' soccer. Let me tell you about girls' soccer here. Technical difficulties. Punch this up here. Girls soccer. All right, so the girls soccer team is they had a 16-0 win over Lawrence on September 12th. Brooke Tardugno 3 goals. Emily Donovan with 2 goals. Stephanie Tardugno 2 goals. Bella Keeney 2 goals. Matthew O'Hearn 2 goals. Sam Matarazzo, Gabby Fiato, Emma Kwong, Emily Feel, and Haley Pickles with all had goals in a huge win over Lawrence, and then a 2-0 win over Drake on the 17th. Keeney scored twice for the Rangers, and Stephanie Hendrick with 8 saves in the game and another shutout. Henrik with 31 saves and two shutouts so far for the Rangers girls soccer team. Bill.
Tim, in the show today, you've said about the name Tardugno 3 times. I'm a little confused. Is this just the same kid playing multiple sports, or what do we got going on?
We have a family, just a dynasty of athletes in this family. They're all related, and that is a really strong effort on the gene front from the Tardug Barry and Sherry.
Yeah.
Right. That's a strong effort out of them.
And I'm sensing down the road there may be a segment with all 3 of them, because I think that's pretty impressive. And if my memory serves, there's a relation to the LaCroix, which you have Evan and Eric LaCroix, who were both superb athletes at WPI with football and baseball. So it's definitely running through the family, and that's impressive.
Absolutely. A cameo from Jake Wood here. Jake, get on camera here. Get over here, buddy. Say hello. Right there, bud. There you go. Whoop.
Hi, Bill.
What's up, Jake? What's going on, buddy?
We're talking soccer. A soccer star in the making, Jake Wood. So good night to you, sir. I love you. All right, bud. With his cartoon voice. So big win for the Rangers. So just listen, they're building big things. Some of these programs have been down, and you just see the work that's being put in and the results that are coming from it.
No, you do, Tim, and I think a big part of it is the off-season working out. You're not seeing kids play year-round anymore, which I'm so happy about. They're doing off-season conditioning. They're doing core building, and I'm hoping that with Brendan Meduno and Become Fitness, I'm hoping that they're gonna see the show and say, "Hey, Bill, Tim, how can I sponsor? How can I get my name attached to Ranger Nation Radio?" Because we're doing the on the other end, we're building up their their ability to speak and do interviews and talk about their families and their teachers and their friends and what they're doing. But the reason why there's a lot of success is because you have a couple of gyms now. You have the high school has built a couple of nice athletic training areas, and you're seeing these kids show up and they're healthy and they're ready to go.
And there's the screen grab we were talking about, the girls soccer weekly recap. So we'll get that up on screen. All right, Bill. So some great things all across the board from this first edition of Ranger Nation Radio for fall 2019. Some things as we go that we just want to get in there. So first of all, you've got music bingo coming up. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so Tim, there's been a little bit of a craze over the last year and a half. DJ Edna has been doing music bingo at local establishments. Small little bingo. It is what it is. It's bingo, and instead of calling out B14, she's playing a specific music clip, and it's on your bingo card. So if it's and I'm so bad with music, I can't even think of one song. Red Hot Chili Peppers,
Stairway to Heaven, or whatever it might be.
And there is no cheating. So there's an app out there called Shazam, and you can have that on your phone because, in essence, it's bingo. They want you to fill the card. So there's, depending on the number of people, there's 5, 6, 7 rounds. There's a monetary prize, almost like a 50-50 type situation where half the money is going to the Methuen High football team and the other part of the percentage is going to the winner. So it's your traditional left to right, your bottom or top to bottom. Then there's a coverall, and it's exciting. And there's music, and people get up and they're singing and dancing depending on what your thing is, and it's a great time. And we've been kind of following this, and DJ Edna last spring did one for girls softball, raised a little bit of money, and I talked to her about the fall doing something for the football team. So this Friday night, 7 o'clock at the Knights of Columbus, the Gaythorne on 28. Obviously get there about 15 minutes before 7. We're going to start promptly at 7. It's $30 a ticket, and understand this is a fundraiser for Methuen High School football as well. You go, you sit at a table, you're with your friends. You can buy a single ticket, you can buy 2 tickets, you can buy a whole table. I don't care. Just show up, have a great time, and know you're doing something great for the Methuen football and cheer team. And a lot of this money goes to senior night. Tim, we try to deck out the field with banners and posters of the senior cheerleaders and football players, and have a little celebration night for them, because for them, senior night, that potentially is their last football or cheering event, which is exciting, but also scary for the parents.
So you see the contact information here, 978-609-6199 is the number to call if you want tickets. Tickets at the door, Bill?
There will be tickets at the door as well. I mean, I'd love to know ahead of time how many.
Absolutely, love to have a number, but if it's last second and your plans change and you want to get get over there to the Knights of Columbus, Gaythorne, Lodge 462 Broadway in Methuen, right past the Texas Roadhouse, right?
Yep, there's a Dunkin' Donuts, and immediately after that, there's a dental place, and it's that left. There's a tremendous amount of parking. Just come in and have a great time. Tim, one more quick shout out. All over Facebook and on the Booster Twitter account, Facebook, Instagram, we have Thursday night meals for the entire football team, and I just want to go through the sponsors. Irish Cottage was a sponsor one week. Methuen Pop Honor is sponsoring one of the deals through Irish Cottage. They're buying the meal. We have Bada Bing, Bada Boom, obviously sponsoring. AFC Urgent Care reached out, said, "Hey, I want to sponsor. I want to get involved." Sal's Pizza is getting involved one week. We have Harrow's is the sponsor for tomorrow night, the chicken pies that are located in the plaza right after Texas Roadhouse. We also have I think, and Manos is also sponsoring, and Ray Rocks is also a sponsor that once again reached out to me and said, hey, I'm hearing about the Thursday night meal. I see this online. How can we get involved? And I think the same thing goes for this show. Watch the show, check it out, see we're all about, promoting positive coaches, a great high school, and a bunch of great student athletes, and jump on board and become a sponsor and keep promoting some success and some positive stuff going on in Methuen.
So, all good stuff there. Music Bingo should be a great event. Want to send a shout out one more time to AFC Urgent Care. I want to tell you about the AFC Urgent Care Player of the Week. Each week, we will name a Methuen High School Star of the Week. AFC Urgent Care will donate $100 each week to the Methuen High School All Sports Boosters on behalf of that athlete. This week's winner was Connor Bryant from the football team. Each week we will put a poll up online, and the winner of that poll will serve as 25% of the vote, and then my vote, Bill's vote, and athletic director Matt Curran's vote will be the other 75% of the vote. We don't want it to be a popularity contest, but we want to hear from you in terms of the player of the week. So we will put that poll up probably on Monday of each week on the Ranger Nation Twitter account. And so you can get involved with the vote there. One other thing that we want to just shout out real quick before we get out of here. We talk about alumni, Bill, and one of the alums made a appearance on national television. Yeah.
Unbelievable what you're going to talk
about. Yeah,
this is going to be awesome.
Oh, you got to see it. And you know what shocks me is I didn't recognize the kid. He's clearly been even more in the weight room, even more working out with the military down there at Clemson. But here's what we're talking about. So you see the ball. See that catch? See that catch? Folks, that is Seth Pare. Seth Pare. Methuen alum.
Clemson.
Yeah. During the Clemson game.
I'm going to say this, and I really hope that I don't get any slack for this because I don't mean it in any sort of negative way. Doesn't the clip almost look a little Forrest Gumpish?
Oh, you're right. No. Absolutely. It looks like he was kind of like spliced into it. Like, that's great.
I'm not calling Seth Forrest Gump. I'm talking about it looks surreal. Like, this is national television at Clemson. Kids on the sideline. Makes an incredible finger catch and turns in Seth fashion, looks up to the crowd of what? How many people there, Tim?
80,000.
80,000 people, and the place goes crazy. The first thing I thought was Forrest Gump type of a clip. Incredible.
It was, and it's a great way to close out the first show here. I mean, that's just a phenomenal effort. Seth was an amazing athlete from Methuen High School, and clearly hasn't lost the hands one iota there down south at Clemson. So a great job out of Seth, and a great job for catching it by the family and posting it online. That was just awesome to see. So as we close out the show, we want to give you all of the contact information where you can interact with the show, watch and listen to us each week. We're going to stream this live on Wednesday nights, and then you can watch it all week on demand. Twitter at Ranger NTN Radio. Had to abbreviate that because Twitter doesn't allow a long name. So Ranger NTN Radio on Twitter, on Facebook and Instagram at Ranger Nation Radio, and on YouTube on the Loop Weekly TV channel. So that's where you can interact with us. We'll also have some information online this week. We will put the show up in podcast form and just audio podcast form. A lot of folks were looking for new podcasts to listen to, so we will put that available. It will be available at first on Podbean and soon on iTunes, on Spotify, and some other podcast platforms. So we're everywhere, Bill.
No, that sounds great.
All right. Any last thoughts before we get out of here?
Tim, I'm going to get a little bit of trouble for this. Get out and vote on November 5th.
Absolutely.
More to come about that.
Absolutely.
Because this is our own show. This isn't, we do this on our own. There's no affiliation with everything. Obviously, we're talking about kids from Methuen, but get out and vote November 5th.
Absolutely.
Do the right thing.
We, a decent turnout for the primary, but your vote is more important than ever.
I would have loved to see way more people get out. There's a lot going on, and the only way things change is that people get involved, and people need to get involved and get out there and learn about the people running and do your homework and then show up and vote.
You will see debates out there. There's going to be you will be well informed. I promise you that. There's no shortage of debates this year. More information to come from me on that in the near future. But be well informed. Get out and vote on November 5th. Your vote is more important than ever in the city council races, in the mayoral races. Make your voice matter. So on that note, we will get out of here. A supersized episode 1 edition of Ranger Nation Radio presented by AFC Urgent Care for Bill Bryant, for Farrah Canan, for Connor Bryant, Nick Matthew, Anthony Romano, Julio Tardugno, Kareem Coleman, Tom Ryan, and a cast of thousands. Tim Wood, thanking you for watch on demand throughout the week, and we will see you back here live next Wednesday night on Ranger Nation Radio presented by AFC Urgent Care.